going on, YouTube? It's your girl Monique Nicole, and I am back with another video. Before we get started, honey, if you are new to my channel, please make sure you are subscribed. Go ahead and click that subscribe button down below, right there, right there. While you're at it, go ahead and click the thumbs up button to like this video. It is an easy and free way to help support my channel, honey. We're trying to grow over here. Say it with me, growth. Okay. So tonight I have my favorite diva in the building, Nita Diva. What's up, girl?
Hey, hey, hey. You doing good tonight. All right. I see some new faces in here. I'm loving
Oh,
y'all.
yes, yes.
This is where y'all are watching from. Joshua, Kelvin. Like, listen, I'm loving it. Okay. We are here.
I think I've seen maybe Kelvin has been here before. I don't know because Augusta, I don't know, maybe. But what's up,
Okay.
Kelvin? What's up, Jeremiah? What's up,
Okay.
Tiffany?
Hope everybody enjoyed their Thanksgiving or their holiday or their family time, whatever you
Yes,
do. No judgment, whatever. So
I hope
hope
you
everybody
guys.
had a great day.
Yes, I hope everybody enjoyed their Thanksgiving holiday. Hope y'all ate good.
Mm-hmm.
We just let's let some people come on in.
Drank good, ate good.
Hey, look, ate good, drank good, look good. Damn.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Hey, boo.
Yes.
Thank y'all
Y'all
for
go.
joining us.
Yes, make
Because
sure you up the video, share it.
thank you guys so much for joining because this was very, very, very last minute. I'm trying to work on that, y'all. My mood was like I wanted to do it, but I was on the couch and I was like, it's getting late. No one's gonna want to watch. Am I in the mood?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm in the mood, so I'm here.
We're here. Yes.
And we're not gonna keep you guys too long. But there's a lot going on in media in this crazy world, and I wanted to just touch on a few topics. Some are going to be a little bit heavy, so just trigger warning. Some of the topics will be a little bit on the heavy side, and some will be fun and funny and all that good stuff. So let's get into it. So we are going to start. Let's see. We are going to start with the Shanquella Robinson situation. Give me 1 second, y'all.
Oh Lord, there's
A
a
little
lot.
bit. It's
Yeah.
a lot that's
Yeah.
happening. So the latest is the Mexican prosecutors have issued an arrest warrant for her friend as the case is fully clarified. It wasn't a quarrel, but instead a direct aggression. So Mexican authorities are continuing to work, on the case just to get to the bottom of what really happened. Although video footage has surfaced and we've all kind of seen what happened, they have to do their job and officially, investigate. And according to a prosecutor, she had this to say: this case is fully clarified. We even have a court order. There is an arrest warrant issued for the crime of, I think it's supposed to say homicide, to the detriment of the victim and against an alleged perpetrator, a friend of her who is the direct aggressor. And if you watch the video, there was someone who was the aggressor. I mean, I could not watch the video. I could not stomach it because it was just too much. But I saw enough to see what happened. For those that don't know, in October, Shanquella Robinson left Charlotte, North Carolina to go on a trip with friends to Cabo, Mexico. And within 24 hours, she was dead. Her friends initially told her mother that she had alcohol poisoning, but it turns out when they had the autopsy results, she had a broken neck and I think a damaged spine and injury and all types of crazy stuff. So they've been working to get to the bottom of this story. It's been all over social media. Everyone's had comments, everyone's had opinions. Like, people are not letting this go, which I do like, because the more pressure, the more
Yeah.
chances are they're going to crack down on this. It's just, Lord, it's such a crazy situation. What are your thoughts on the situation, Nita, and them having an arrest warrant for the friend who was the aggressor, in which we saw in the video?
Friend of me.
Friend of me, boom.
That's what I'll say. And I had covered this on my Instagram. Please follow me, Boss Lady Nita Boo. I said, this is so sad and tragic. This is a simple case of frenemies. Folks who flip flop, smile in your face, fake check on you to get, to get what they want to get out of you, sneak this, cool with folks that don't like you. They don't support you. They're not happy for your accomplishments, and they are secretly hating. And I say, rest in peace to this young lady, and prayers to the family. Be careful, protect your energy, and protect your peace. Um, and that's exactly how I feel. I still feel like that to this day. It breaks my heart because I think heard a live of Winter. Winter was not the girl that was actually in the video assaulting her. I think her name was Dejanay or something like that. And
Mm.
Winter was another girl. She was the light skinned girl. And when I heard the live, and I don't know if it was her or not, there was no confirmation because there was only audio. There was no face, but I didn't hear any remorse. I didn't hear like, yeah, she did, but I was like, what? She's dead, but I was just like, I was so taken aback. It was only like 2 minutes of audio. And I just thought it was so ugly and so nasty how this whole thing transpired. And you remember, if y'all remember from Monique's reality talk TV, I I definitely was triggered by that whole thing with Robin and Mia, and how that transpired, and how Robin is sitting there with the phone. Like, girl, no, that is
Mhm.
not the move. That is not the move to make. So, yeah, it's so unfortunate. You really, 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 I know a lot of people like to go along to get along, but when you start noticing things and you start feeling things in your gut, and then I heard that she paid for the entire trip. Those people were hating on her. She paid for the entire trip. And there was,
Wow.
yes, it was just a mess. And then they leave her body in Mexico. Now, this was a whole month ago. Now it's like blown up now, but this happened like a month ago.
Mhm.
And the only way that it got traction and something happened is because I always say social media is a gift and a curse.
Yep.
You can amplify and make some things shake, but then sometimes it gives light to things that people don't even need to, like,
Mhm.
you don't need to be on a microphone, like, we don't need to hear your opinion. So always say it's a gift and a curse. So,
It's in the
but
first.
I'm glad, due to how all of the chatter about it, forcing the FBI to look into it, and making Mexico, say,
Yeah.
do something. So yeah, so whew, child. It was a mess. It was hard to watch the video. I don't know if I even watched it to the end. When
Mm-mm.
I saw he was not even trying to fight back, and she audibly said that she's not going to fight back, Absolutely not. Like I kind of checked out when it felt like it was a blow, like when she was sitting by the bed. And, oh,
Yeah, no, I don't want to,
sitting by
because
yeah,
I didn't
it
see,
was bad.
I didn't watch it because I don't. It just, I probably saw 20 seconds, and I immediately was just like, no, like
Mhm, mhm.
I was
And
mad at
right,
social
and that's
media
how I was. I checked
for
out. I couldn't do it.
posting it. I do want social media and people, when you guys post stuff like that, I really want people to put a trigger warning first. Like I'm it needs to become a rule that they put trigger warning, because I see stuff, I just be scrolling and it pops up, that pops up. Um what was it, the inmate that got beat up by the police, that's been all over CNN as well.
Yeah,
They keep,
yeah,
I'm just like, can y'all put like put trigger warning for a moment to give people a chance to scroll past it. But anyway, I'm glad that justice is about to be served. Um,
yeah. They only have one arrest warrant, but there were six people there. So, I'm hoping that we still try to outcry
yeah,
and really try to force them to hold the other ones, because I feel like it could be not conspiracy, but an accomplice. You know what I'm saying? Accomplice to the crime.
mm-hmm.
Because they were there and they could have possibly stopped it, but they didn't.
I don't understand. This is why I'm like, y'all must not have liked her, because at what point, like, there comes a point where you let two people fight, but it gets to a point where you do step in and say, all right, y'all, all right, stop, enough. How did y'all not interject?
Right.
That's how you know it was just ill intent, malice, and they did not like her. Because if you like somebody, even if you don't, if it's just human decency, once you see it's getting so violent and this person is not even fighting back, it's like, are you trying to kill her? Because what is,
Right.
you
Right.
ended up killing her. Like, I don't, and this is why I was never a fighter growing up. One of the biggest reasons why I try to never get in a physical altercation is because for me, I know my limits. Like, if I were to fight somebody, I know, like, I have limits. But there's some people who have no
They
limits.
don't. They
You
don't.
hear
Right.
you hear all the time people get into a bar fight, someone hits somebody over the head and the person died. Like, I don't know if you're gonna pick up a chair and hit me with the chair. Like, I never, I can't trust you. I don't know what your limits are. You might try to kill me.
Mm-hmm.
I have a limit, but you may not. So
Absolutely.
I've always kept that in my mind when it comes to females and growing up, and high school girls and mean girls, and I just,
Yeah, it does sound like a setup, Joshua. Joshua said it sounded like a
yeah.
setup.
Hmm.
I don't think that I wonder if they went in there with the intent to do that. I don't think so. I think things just went left, you
Yeah.
know, and they weren't betting on, I don't know though. I can't call it though, because like the actions that they did and leaving her there, and I don't know. This is all alleged, y'all, because it's a lot of stories floating around. Supposedly her cousin, Shanquella's cousin, got online and she was talking to some people, and she was saying that after that happened, they took her credit card, they went to the club. I mean, it's just a whole lot of different stories floating around. Don't know what's true, what's not true, because anybody can get online and just say anything. So, I
Right.
mean, I don't know, take that with a grain of salt, but and
Yeah.
then to come home and to lie to her parents like that about alcohol poisoning it.
Hmm.
Baby, it was a lot. It was tragic, and I was very, very saddened. But I'm glad that, I mean, we can't let this, because I feel like this. It reminds me of the Kanika Jenkins, and it felt like we kind of let that go. And I want us to continue to keep on saying Shanquella's name and make sure they raised over $350,000. I need them to do their own independent autopsy. I need them to get lawyered up, and so that they could make sure that these Mexican government and authorities are treating this the right way and everything is being
Mhm.
handled correctly. So,
That's a really good point. That's a really good
yeah.
point. But moving on, you guys, to something a little bit lighter.
Mhm.
Not sure if you guys are aware, but the actor Blair Underwood is now engaged to his friend of 41 years. Okay. So this is a lifelong time friend. And for those that don't know, Blair Underwood was married to his ex-wife for, I think, gosh, 27 years. They were like the Hollywood couple, like the few that we have left. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
they divorced, and it's only been a year since they divorced. So because of this relationship, um, actually, let me read to you guys the post that he made. Let's see.
Okay.
Let me share. Because he took it to Instagram, honey. He professed his love on the gram. Okay, on Tuesday, Blair Underwood to Instagram to share the news that he was engaged with his followers. Um, he captioned an Instagram photo of himself posing with his fiance Josie Hart. They were on a red carpet together. So, in a heartfelt message to his new fiance, he wrote, "My personal highlight was walking the red carpet with my new fiance, Josie Hart, the most amazing, brilliant, beautiful, hilarious, thought provoking, and insightful person I know, who continuously lives life out loud. The future is crazy bright, girl. None of us ever know where God will guide our paths. She's had my back since before I even became an actor. When a 41-year-old friendship slaps you in the back of the head and blossoms into romance, you stand up, pay attention, and step forward in gratitude. Gently forward, it begins." This
Mhm.
is his ex-wife. This is his ex-wife of 27 years. So
Who's the new
this
boo? Do they
news
got a new boo?
this news sparked a conversation on social media. And basically, oh my gosh, y'all, my cat is like crying because he wants to get in this room. Basically, a lot of people were saying, see, this is why I don't want my significant other to have a friend of the opposite sex, because you can't trust
Mhm.
them. This became a big conversation piece on social media, because this is a friend of, like, this is a lifelong friend that he's had his entire life. The wife, I'm sure, is aware of this lifelong friend, has probably been around her numerous times. And
Mhm.
it's like, this is one of those cases where we're friends, we're close friends, we've never crossed the line, but all it takes is that one random day where you start to look at them a little bit differently. And that's what it seems like what happened here. And so a lot of people are weighing in on it, and just basically with the rhetoric of, see, this is why I'm apprehensive
Mhm.
to have my man have female friends, because either y'all messed around before or y'all will in the future. People, and I try to be optimistic and say, yes, you can have friends of the opposite sex. I want to believe that. I want to believe it. But I do believe that sometimes it's situational, and you have to observe said friendship to see really the vibe.
Yeah, the energy.
What is your take on Blair Underwood situation, and then in general what we just talked about, having friends of the opposite sex when you're married? What is your take on all of that?
I don't know. It's not black and white.
Mhm.
Definitely, there's a lot of gray in there. It's very, yeah, I think when you're secure, sometimes people jealousy comes from insecurity. And unfortunately, I mean, that does happen. But to me, I feel like I don't have enough information. Like, was this a platonic flint from the start? Because I know some people who have been intimate with people and they've kept them as friends going forward, but they haven't been sleeping around. But later on in life, something may happen. You're not vibing with your wife, something is going on, she's not being understanding, and the next thing you know, this person
Mm-hmm.
eventually looks like an option. She's sweet. And I don't know, but I understand the conversation. I definitely understand the conversation because it's nuanced and it's like situational, just like you said. It's just like you never know. I don't really, I don't really care for it. But I'm not gonna be that person. Um, at the end of the day, I'll walk away.
So what if
I,
your
I, I
part
don't have to doing it.
what if your partner had a close female friend? Like,
Mhm.
are you off rip? Are you okay with that? Or is it a in due time? You know, I mean, you have to kind of see the vibe and the energy. Like,
Yeah,
how do you feel in general with
yeah, you
that?
definitely have to keep your eye on it. Like you really have to. A lot of times people be real naive about it, and sometimes people are naive about it, and some people are hyper aware of it, and like in a
Mm-hmm.
unhealthy way where it's just going to cause problems and stuff. But no, just watch it. You just have to watch it. You have to trust your gut, your intuition. You have to figure out your trust level. Has your mate ever betrayed your trust? Um, all of those factors kind of like factor into that thing. But yeah, watch it for sure. I wouldn't say you can't do it because I
Okay.
mean that's not real life. You work with people, you form friendships and bonds and stuff like that. And so, I mean, you can't be walking around talking about you can't talk to nobody. Like, come on, like it's not realistic. So
Right.
just keep your eye on it and trust your intuition and your gut. Don't be in your insecurities and don't be, projecting. Like make sure you are dealing in reality, checking yourself. If you need to see a therapist, talk it out,
Mhm.
figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like all that.
Good point. Good point. So we're gonna move on to a sad.
You say yours.
Yeah. So I think. Hmm. I'm not a Dr. Heavenly from Married to Medicine. I'm never gonna be like, you can't have any
Don't
female friends.
don't be that
I'm not,
girl.
I'm not, that's not my style. I don't agree with that rhetoric. I would say, like you said, I would keep my eye on it, my good eye on it.
Hmm.
I would be very observant to the
Right.
energy, vibes, what it feels like. Because it varies and I need the whole scope though. Like it depends on how
Mhm.
close the relationship too. Like, are we casual friends, acquaintances, see them twice a year type friends, or this is your best friend? Now that best friend, I'm gonna have to keep my eye on. Does she know your mama? Does she know your family? How often do y'all kick it? Have y'all ever been together? Y'all just been straight. I'm gonna have questions. So I'm gonna let you have
Right.
a friend. I'm gonna let you have a friend, but I'm gonna have questions. I'm gonna have some questions because
That's fair. That's fair.
people are
Because
very.
it doesn't even have to be your mate. The other person can have some kind of intentions. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? And you don't know what those person's intentions are. So you definitely have to be aware of what is going on. So just make sure you stay aware. But like I
Mhm.
said, It's not always just one sided. We're dealing with two different people, and so yes, you want to trust your mate, but however, you got
Hmm.
somebody else that you need to keep your eye on.
Facts, 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 facts. All right, y'all, we're gonna move on. So this story, I was kind of apprehensive about even talking about it because it is still developing. But out of just respect, I wanted to touch on it out of respect for the victims because I just once again another mass shooting here in America. This shit is
Mm,
getting old. So I'm
mm,
referencing the Virginia Walmart shooting where basically a manager, shockingly, a manager targeted, planned, premeditated to go into work, what, two
mm,
days before Thanksgiving and kill his employees. It seemed very strategic. I think he even had a kill list. Like I said, the story is still developing, so I don't have um all the nitty gritty details because it is developing, and I'm not about to read a whole 5-page essay from CNN. But I'm sure you guys have heard about it. I think there were 6 victims in total. I think 4 people were injured. Um, and this is a young guy. Oh, and of course, shockingly to us, he was black. Y'all know how we feel about that. Black people, we don't usually do mass shootings. That's usually the white people that do that. No shade to my white followers. I love you. But y'all know the tea. Usually black people ain't really the ones shooting up schools and shooting up places. And it's clear this guy had severe mental health issues. He wrote a whole letter about it. He had a kill list. I just and he ended up killing himself. So he can't even go to jail for this, you guys. So it's just I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate that innocent people were killed. Whether or not he was bullied, if he was bullied, that sucks, but that doesn't mean you go and take someone's life.
right, right.
I hate that this happened. This happened 2 days before Thanksgiving. These are people who were just going in, doing their everyday duties like a regular day. I'm sure this is the last thing they could have ever predicted happening to them.
Yeah. And
So
now families are mourning, and right before the holidays,
2 days, like these are
someone,
families that were probably preparing for Thanksgiving and not expecting to get a phone call that their
right.
loved one. I mean, so I am sick of the mass shootings. It's just exhausting, and I almost just feel like giving up on it because it feels like it's nothing's ever gonna change. For me, I knew America did not give a shit when they let little
The
white
baby,
kids get
the babies.
second graders getting shot up with machine guns
Yeah.
to the
We
point where
might
parents
we might as well hang it up, because
we
if they
might
don't care about, if they don't care about them, they don't care about nothing.
not a damn thing. This gun debate is so ignorant to me. It's very elementary. You know what I mean? No one is saying take away guns for like no one is trying to take away your gun rights. Like that's not what we're trying to do or what we're saying. We just want some stricter gun laws to be implemented to help reduce the amount of mass shootings and tragedies that take place in this country. It's not that hard. It's just
Right.
not that hard. It's very elementary, it's very stupid, but unfortunately, there's powerful people involved, there's money involved, there's bribery involved,
Oh,
so politics
yeah.
involved.
Mhm.
Um, Gosh, what do you think, Nita? Anything you want to add to?
Yeah, he definitely needs counseling. And like I said, me and Mo, we are both big pro- um cheerleaders for therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Um If you watch Lamont's show on Monday, we both advocated for it, and yes, you need therapy. The thing is once you get older, like right now, my
Mm,
son is in intensive therapy. But once you cross a threshold where they call you an adult and you can get your own, you could do your own, make your own calls, it's very hard to like try to get somebody to get therapy. It's not going to get any better, right,
yeah,
Joshua? It's not going
it's
to get any better. It's not.
it's not.
Um, you just have to be vigilant. That's why I'm not one of those people. Like, yes, it would be great to be a socialite and I would love to be out and about, but I don't feel safe. And so, yeah, like I want to do those things, but it's just like, yeah, you know,
But
I just,
but see, Nita, when it comes to this is where you can't prevent no shit like this. Like, because at this point it's like you're not living. You have think about all the places we've had mass shootings. Every single out of all the places, there's been at least one or two places that it's like, oh, that could have been me. Or yeah, like going to a grocery store, yeah, easily. Like
yeah,
going to the mall, easily. Going to the movie theater, easily could have been me. Like, so it's going to school, like it's going to,
I know.
well, me going to a lounge or a nightclub, yes, that's like, so all these places are quite literally possible for me. Like, so it's, I'm the type of person, I like to be prepared. I like to have my guard up. I like to prevent. I don't go to the gas station late at nighttime. I'm always aware of my surroundings. I have pepper spray on me. I'm a very alert type of girl. But when it
Mhm.
comes to these mass
Yeah,
shootings, it's you can't
yeah, it's
prevent it.
right.
Sometimes it's chance. Sometimes it's wrong place, wrong time. You just,
Yeah,
I mean, kids can't go to school.
right.
This is the thing about death too that's so messed up and sad, is like we sit here and we talk about these tragedies and then we move on, but guess what, those family, the school in
They don't.
Texas that got shot up, the school in Texas that got shot up in May, guess what, this is their first Thanksgiving without their child. Like, we don't even
Right.
think about it like that, but like, it doesn't stop for them after 2 months of talking about it. They have to now carry on their life
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
having their baby with them. It's like, oh my gosh. When it was time to go back to school, I don't even, it's like how triggering, so it's just,
Yeah. It is. It's sad. It's unfortunate. It's nothing you really can do to prevent it because at the end of the day, you have to live life. You have
yeah,
to live. Like, I mean, it's very unfortunate, and I feel really really bad. And just like you say, we stopped talking about it 2 months after or 2 weeks after because it's so normalized and we're so desensitized to the whole thing.
hmm,
The next news cycle, we're talking about something else. We're talking about another one. And
hmm,
it hits me really, really close to home because, I am right on the border of Virginia. I live in Maryland. I grew up in DC, but I live in Maryland now. And that's my thing. That I am the DMV. Like that's where I live. I work, out there. I frequent out there. I go to the movies out there. I do all of the things out there. And so, yeah, it's just really sad. Really, really sad. Hey, Miss Kira.
yes. Hey, Kira. All right, yep, sad. So let's move on to another interesting topic that I really want to get y'all's opinion on. So this is about Chris Brown. So during Sunday night's American Music Awards, Kelly Rowland basically was presenting the award. I think it was for, let's see, favorite male R&B artist category, and the winner was Chris Brown. However, he was not there to accept the award. When his name was called, the audience started booing him, like, boo. Kelly Rowland was like, calm down, let me finish. And she continued to give Chris Brown his flowers and say that she will personally give the award to him whenever she sees him or whatever.
Mhm.
So when I first saw it, I was confused. I'm like, why are we booing Chris Brown? What happened? Did I miss something? And I guess from what people are saying on social media, he was getting booed because, some people are just not Chris Brown supporters due to his controversial past, not only the Rihanna situation, but the number of incidents that have happened since then. Um, I personally go back and forth with this topic because um Chris Brown is complicated for me because I like him, but I also know his flaws. Um he's definitely got anger issues. He's got a lot of issues that he's never addressed. I don't know if he's ever gone to counseling for his issues. Um I mean, people want to talk about Rihanna but it's not just that, y'all. Like there's been like at least 9 incidents since then that have occurred. Not to mention all the conversations people say about him being colorist. I mean, some of that shit might be true. We have to remember with Karuchi, his ex Karuchi, like she had to put a restraining order on him. Like, and
Yeah.
for y'all that don't know, I know this through a friend. You have to have evidence for a judge to grant you a restraining order. Because I have a friend that had to do it. You have to have evidence. So it's not just easy to get a restraining order on someone. You have to have evidence of their behavior, and for a judge to be like, okay, I'm gonna grant this for you. Like, so anyway, a lot of stuff has happened in his past. However, I do think the last couple years he's been on the up and up. There was a case where a woman was trying to accuse him of drugging in the R word, but I think she was lying. Um, I think she was basically caught in a lie. So it was dismissed. I don't know how I feel, Nita. I'm very conflicted because on one hand, I'm like, why are we booing him? Oh, not to mention, you guys, he and Sierra were supposed to perform a
Mhm.
Michael Jackson tribute at the AMAs last week. They had rehearsed it, they had choreography, they've been practicing, rehearsing, and like 2 days before the award show, they pulled the plug on it and did not provide a reason why or anything. And I'm
Mm.
trying to understand why'd y'all do that? What It's just weird. It's messy to me. I'm like, why all of a sudden are we trying to cancel Chris Brown? This is like weird. I don't get it. The timing is
Mhm.
confusing me. Yeah. I'm so conflicted on how I feel. People getting mad at Kelly Rowland now because she defended him and saying we need to give him grace. And what do you think, Nita, about this whole? What do you think about this situation?
Okay, so I'm twofold on it. I don't think the AMAs handled it correctly. And then I
Hmm.
also didn't think that Kelly Rowland handled it correctly.
Okay.
With the AMAs, this wasn't new information to them. They knew how problematic he's been in his past. We know his history. We see you. Peekaboo, we see you. It's in the headlines, it's in the courtrooms, all that stuff. So to make me feel like um it feels like it has to be new information. If not, somebody goofed, somebody dropped the ball. Okay.
Hmm.
And then when we're getting to Kelly Rowland and her part in it, I didn't agree with it either. She said that everybody needs to have grace and mercy extended to them. I will do that if the person is working towards change. If we're working towards change behavior, we're correcting and being accountable for our stuff, that's when I extend grace. You don't get grace if you're continuing to be the ugly person with these character flaws, these patterns of behavior. Every
Mm-hmm.
couple of years, you're being accused of something. We also know that CB is also a known colorist. He does not like dark skinned people and then she being that person and a reflection of somebody that he wouldn't even allow into his section unless she's Kelly Rowland. So I guess that's why she gives the grace, right? But anybody else, we're not going to, you know. I don't think that, I mean, she could feel how she want to feel, but
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to try to like push your influence onto other people and say that somebody deserves grace, and we don't owe him nothing. Yes, he's a talented dancer. He is talented beyond measure, but at some point you have to kind of draw a moral line in the sand on your morals and what you value, and whether or not you're going to support this person and they still continue this bad behavior. So I mean, she's cool and all. I just don't really agree with some of her stuff. But it's conditioning. It's black women conditioning, socialization. That is what they teach us to do. We're gonna stand up for our black men, whether or not they stand up for you or not. But
Mm-hmm.
that's what they teach you. And listen, I ain't here for them.
Baby. But were you taken aback initially by the booing? Like, cause were you confused? Like, why are we booing this nigga? Or did you always know it was because of his?
Oh no. Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah. I
always
think it was, yeah. I thought the
okay.
boy, and I think people should be able to boo, because if you don't agree with it, and if you're trying to go against the status quo and try to keep these people in power and in their influence and all that stuff, some of these people really do kind of need to be canceled a little bit, because we need change behavior. If there's no consequence, and if you keep on supporting people, we're not going to get change behavior. That's just how
Mhm.
it works. It doesn't work like that. So sometimes these people need to feel it. And I think people, if you've done something morally wrong, and if the people feel strongly enough to boo, I feel like, hey, you're gonna have to take that junk right on the chin, just like how you dished out all of your bad behavior to someone else.
That's a good point, Kara. She said I was
Yeah.
confused for paying $1,000 for a photo with him.
There's still going to be those people out there. I told you it's conditioning. That they are the Kelly Rowlands. They are the ones that standing with Kelly Rowland. But some people still stand against what's wrong. And and people say if Rihanna forgive them, we need to move past it. But it's not just Rihanna. It's Karuchi. I'm about to say Karaoke. Karuchi. Her parents. I mean, she had to do it for like several family members, I believe. It wasn't just herself. So, yeah.
Why do you well, not even why, because you probably do have the answer. I just find it strange. Like, why do we have such a hard time canceling certain artists? Like the Chris Browns and the Trey Songs. Like, I get it. Like, I'm a Chris Brown fan. I've been a fan of his since I was 16 years old. Like, Chris Brown has been in the industry for like 15 or so years. Like, we're talking 17
Maybe
years.
more. Maybe
He's
more. Yeah.
he's kind of like a legend. Like, he's been in the industry for almost 20 years. That's not an
Yes.
easy, that's not easy. So I've been a fan of his for a long time. So, but I'm sometimes conflicted. Like, damn, do I support this nigga or do I like? Because I,
No, I mean,
maybe
no, I can acknowledge, let's say we're acknowledging his talents and what he brings, but we also have to hold him accountable as well, especially if there's no, you know, there's nothing that's really been done. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I
That's
mean,
the
I
difference.
get it.
For me, I can cancel, and I was a fan of Trey Songz, but because of the nature of the crimes, I gotta cancel him. I
Yeah,
can't really f with Trey Songz like that.
right.
And I know some people gonna be like, well,
Miss
they dismissed.
Mystical is another one. Mystical, he keep
Oh yeah,
on
but anybody really think about
getting,
him
yes, like all of the,
on Trey Songz? Like
mhm,
it's a thing, and people in Hollywood have been saying it. There's people who say that he is the R word. People have
mhm,
gotten the vibes. We didn't want to believe Keke Palmer years ago when she was saying stuff. So it's
right,
been out there. And one of his recent situations only got dismissed because there was a statute of limitations. But I'm like, what state was that? Because statute of limitations, I feel like should not have already ran out for this victim, this alleged victim. Um,
right.
there's too many victims. There's too many women. Yes, I know that some women lie, but trust me, all of them ain't lying on him.
Right,
Like to
right,
me,
right.
is Trey Songz is an R word. Like I know it hasn't been proven yet, but I've read some of the stuff. Very graphic, very tough to read.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Jeremiah is asking about Usher.
yeah.
Usher did is that just because of the H word that he supposedly had spread amongst
I thought that was false.
that's what I'm trying to figure out, like I don't remember any other controversy
Yeah,
with Usher other than
Usher
that.
isn't Usher isn't problematic like that. I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trey Songz be doing too much, and he's one of those. Listen to me. Trey Songz is one of those like cocky high school football players who is the R word, who is just cocky with his shit.
Hmm.
Not the quiet R word, but he's more the outgoing, boisterous R word. Like, you know what I mean? He's the popular one. He's the good looking one. He pulls the girls. He's this, that,
Hmm.
that. He's out there with it. He's like that.
Yeah.
He's the type to grab a girl and try to touch her just for attention or just to be fun. Like he's that type. He's that type.
Yeah.
And don't think that because some people think, oh, but he's fine. He don't need to do that. He can get any woman he wants. You'll be very surprised.
Listen.
You'll be
A
very
lot of
surprised.
times, like I was trying to tell my son about consent. He's 13. He's just getting into that, and girls starting to like him. And I'm like,
Mhm.
listen, let me tell you one thing about consent. We can start off having the most passionate, we're in the throes and we're having a good time. But at any point, she says no. It's a no, baby. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
No is no. And just because we get to a certain point, you think that the pressure, like, man, all these women want to be with me. Don't let that shit get to your head. All these women want to get with me, but she might have just been trying to have a moment with you. She might have just been trying to, you know, listen, if at any point, and I told this with him because actually he has a girl that's being more aggressive towards him,
Okay.
and we were in therapy, and he was like, I don't know how I'm supposed to think. And I was like, well, Kevin, I said, well, he like she's rubbing on his leg and all that stuff. And I said, well, you do know that your member is like right by the leg. So if at any point, if you could say, let's not do that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you could change your mind. And he was just like, well, let me ask dad, how am I supposed to feel? No, we don't want dad's feelings. We want to know how you feel.
Hmm.
Like, no. So, I had to make sure, and it was kind of hard to kind of keep his father out that session. But I
Mm,
was just like, consent works both ways with boys, and boys feel like they supposed to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like how you heard about how Boosie had his children essayed at a very young age and stuff like that. Like they think that that's like the rite of passage and stuff. Like no, 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 no. We're not doing that. So yeah, you gotta be careful, and you gotta make sure you kind of let them know about, because
yeah.
this is something new, and I don't want my son to be misinformed, and I want him to honor his own feelings, and
Mhm.
whatever. And he feels uncomfortable, then we uncomfortable, and you need to speak up for yourself. So yeah,
Absolutely. That's a good point. That's a great point. Thank you for sharing that.
yeah.
That's definitely
I'm sorry,
important.
y'all. I'm like, let me step off my little
No,
soapbox.
that was good. It worked with the conversation because that's true. Consent does go both ways. And I think you're doing an excellent job at teaching your son about consent. That's something that probably wasn't done to
Human
generation,
based
generation
on, yeah,
after generation of men. And that's why some men feel entitled to certain
yes,
things that they shouldn't be. So yeah, I
not
think teaching about consent both ways is very important. So shout out to you.
thank you, boo. But you know what? The thing is that when boys connect with other boys, like my teachings, that stuff will be overridden because society says, and the male influence and the male. You know what I'm saying? Like I can try to do everything in my power, but I do
Yeah,
know that the society's programming and conditioning will ultimately win. And I'm just praying that, he hears my voice on his shoulder.
hope so. Don't stop. Keep preaching it because it'll be in his head or like you said, the one shoulder. Little
Yeah,
angel.
yeah,
It'll be there. Don't you do that. Don't do it.
yeah.
Well, you guys, that's about it for hot topics this evening. Just want to do a few topics. Next week, I might, dive in more with some more stuff. Depends on what happens in this crazy, crazy world.
Yeah, have
But
him
thank
with
you
a
guys.
couple of friends, maybe some more people on the
Right.
panel and stuff like
And
that.
next week we'll have more people for sure. Again, y'all, thank you for
With
tuning
the,
in.
the holidays and everything.
Yeah. Thank y'all for tuning in. It being, short notice. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do better, y'all. Just stay
We're
patient
getting
with
ready
me.
to jump onto my, well, not we. I'm getting ready to jump on my channel for a live for Tulsa King at the first
Yeah.
episode. So if you want to talk about it, if you've seen it, come on over. We're gonna chat.
Okay, y'all. Y'all check
Okay.
out Nita's channel right now in a few minutes, okay? And y'all keep the notification bell on, okay? And thank you guys for watching. And until next time, bye.